Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Raya Hope, the talk show and podcast with your hosts, Raya and Leslie.
Hello.
Hi, Leslie.
Hey, Ray.
How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm great. Seems like we were just here.
I know. It really does feel like it was yesterday was last Saturday.
Are the weeks flying by?
Oh my God. It's not waiting for nobody.
And doing this live, it's just like, I promise you, it feels like we just left the studio.
Oh, for real.
Yeah. Well, today's episode is going to be brought to you again by Car Guy Corey. Mr. Corey London.
Corey.
He's at Lindsay. Is it Honda?
Is it? It is Honda.
Yeah. Go see him.
Yeah.
So everybody need a new car right now.
Yes.
Go see Mr. Corey London. Make sure you get a car. He can get you approved. You can ring the bell. Oh my God, y'all got to see his social media. Every time somebody buy a car, they get to ring this bell. Some people don't want their faces up there, but all the other people are having fun and enjoying it.
And I think it's so funny how he puts those little silhouettes.
Yes, like where you get this? Right, like okay, but go buy a car. Ring the bell. Mr.
Yes.
Corey London, the CoreYLondon. He is on Facebook as Corey London. Hashtag Car Guy Corey. Support the brothers.
Yes.
Go buy a car. But today at the studio, Leslie and I are honored to have Mr. Dana Brock. He is back for part 2. If you tuned into season 2, episode 4, Dana Brock came in and talked about transforming from being a man that was broken, dealing with some substance abuse, and to reforming his life through our Heavenly Father. That episode was one for the books.
Yes.
He was so open and transparent. He was so great. We had to have him back for a part 2.
Absolutely.
There was no way we was going to not have him back because he has
Absolutely.
so much more to say, and he's so encouraging.
Yes.
And you know, we gave him his flowers last time,
Yes.
so we're
So
going to
happy.
continue to give him his flowers. So Leslie and I are just going to have a conversation with him, and we wanted to get more into his foundation, the future of his foundation, and any way that we can help him to get this foundation off the ground. So welcome back, Mr. Dana Brock.
Well, thank you for having me, my sister.
What's
so
going on?
Not much, just staying busy, doing the work. You know, it is an everyday thing, and it is at times challenging, but also rewarding. And so that's what motivates me to just keep on doing the work.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So if you could give people that didn't tune in or haven't heard our podcast or the episode that you were on last time, if you could give them a quick little synopsis of who Brother Dana is.
Yeah, so my name
Wonderful.
is Dana Brock, and I'm a Columbus, Ohio native, a Linden native, right? I love it's north or nothing for me.
All right, all right.
But I've lived all over Columbus, Ohio, and I absolutely love my city. What else could I say? I mean, I am what they would call a restored citizen.
Yes.
I used to live my life in such a way that I ended up on those vacations you not necessarily plan for or want to go on. And so I spent a lot of time in and out of incarceration. I am also, to this day, 6 years, 2 months, and 3 days clean from all substance, drugs, alcohol, tobacco, criminal activity, by the grace of God. And so very much a lot of what I do revolves around helping men and women do the same, trying to just, help them get on the path to changing their lives, and realizing that there is another chance if you take it. We know that we serve a God that is a God of so many chances, right? More than we usually give ourselves. But it's just when you actually get serious and you take advantage of the many opportunities that God gives us, then you can start to really see some real sustainable change in your life. And I have been blessed to be one of those who actually jumped off the boat to destruction and got on the boat to production and longevity. And a life in Christ that has allowed me to just be able to reach back and touch others, because that's what it's about.
That's
it's
what
about the give back. You
I
can't just get it and keep it for yourself. You
Right.
gotta give back.
Amen.
I like that. I like that.
Awesome. That is so profound.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you come in, you say something that's profound that we can hashtag. That boat to destruction to the boat of production. Woo!
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Absolutely.
We did it at the same time.
And show them the shirt that you have on this We Are Linden, because you represent Linden so well.
Oh,
He has
yeah.
on this We Are Linden.
We Are Linden shirt.
Yeah.
It is Wear Orange Weekend in awareness of the gun violence.
Ooh, we need that.
National Gun Awareness Weekend. And so we want to wear orange to represent today that we are aware, not only in our city but across the nation, the extreme epidemic of gun violence, especially amongst our youth and the Black youth. And so that is very near and dear important to me. Again, I used to live my life in such a way where I was part of that problem, and now I'm just dedicated to being a part of the solution. So I want to continue to support the efforts that are geared towards helping youth understand that guns are not the answer, guns are not the way, and being able to learn how to manage emotions in such a way that if someone does something that offends me or upsets me, that I don't have to kill them. It doesn't have to resort to gun violence, right? There's other ways that we can work it out, especially amongst men. And then a lot of what you do inspires that too, because mental health is a really big aspect of that.
It is.
It's a really big aspect of that, especially again amongst men who are taught not to have emotions as young boys, especially young Black boys.
Right.
Taught not to have emotion, or that is weak to have
That is
emotion.
weak, yeah.
And so when you grow up and you start to experience these emotions, you don't know what to do with them. Then those things can manifest into violence, domestic violence, drug addiction. There's so many other destructive things. And so we just really want to channel that energy and again help young men, women, people period, to learn that there are healthy ways to express your emotions and deal with your feelings without resorting to violence.
Yeah, I just seen a 14-year-old was shot and killed again last night on the east side. So, it's very appropriate, and we appreciate you bringing this to light. What you do is instrumental in you being transparent and telling your stories, helping so many other young men and women. So we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And I guess that's something, as a nurse and just, as a victim of, an assault as well, and just somebody that deals with mental health too, I'm always thinking, like, when you said, for us to be able to channel or help these babies channel, something where they don't have to resort to wanting to pick up a gun, because back in the day we didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody used their hands.
What you guys like to say, like, let's square up, knock this off my shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I dare you to knock
I
this
dare
off my
you.
shoulder.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just like, when did it get like when did it change to I'll be right back and I'm going to my trunk or I'm going to my car? When did it change to that part, and how do we get to the point where we can get them to sit down and have that resolution? I'm all about let's talk it out. You know what I'm saying? You're all about let's talk it out. Ray is all about let's talk it out. But we're three adults.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And so we had to learn to get there.
And we had to learn. But how do we, the three adults, and I'm sure there's more of us like that, how do we all come together and get these babies to sit down and talk it? Like, how do we get them to readjust that energy, that negative energy?
Right. So one of the things I think that was very important that you mentioned is that when did this shift happen, right? There used to be a time, right, when we would have a beef or a scuffle or disagreement. We fought and then we were best friends after.
Exactly.
Some of my best friends to this day, I fought when we were young, right? And we're best friends who will fight for each other.
Absolutely.
Right? And there was a newfound respect after the fight that, hey, okay, you felt this way, I felt this way, we got it out now. And it was crazy because we would talk after the fight, right? We should be talking before the fight, but we would talk after the fight.
You guys were alive to talk.
But we were alive to be able to talk, right? I think that where that got lost at, where it was, there's a lot of systemic factors. There are a lot of familial factors, right? And then there's a lot of societal factors that, kind of took the village away from the community, and have placed us
kind of in a situation where, you know, the value of human life, the value of family has changed.
Yeah.
Has changed dramatically,
Yeah.
and because I mean, and it's all in our music, it's all on the television, you know, and these are things that the youth are. I mean, with the creation of the internet and so many other things that we didn't have when we were younger. So we were more relational. We were more. We talked about it. You know, we were. You know, we had to be around each other. We were outside playing until the street lights came on and things like that. Now these kids are in the house and on the screen until they drop dead from sleep. Like, and, you know, and so the human interaction is also missing, right? And then now my value of human life is based on Grand Theft Auto and things like that. And so the youth are not, they're desensitized and they really don't understand their value first and foremost, and then they don't understand the value of another human being's life. A lot of that starts in the home, but outside of the home too, there is the community. And one of the things too that I heard you say was, how do we, because we're three adults, right? And together is the key word. Together is the key word. There are so many organizations that are in this fight, that are in this battle, and they do great work in their silos, but we have to come together.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
On every level, if we, you know, not only support each other's events and things like that, but if we come together and plan events as a whole, if we north side, south side, east side, west side, as a collective, and we all hit the north side, and we all hit the south side, or we all hit, you know, the east side, right? Collectively. Now, you can imagine the effect that 10 people have walking down a neighborhood asking the people to put down the guns and come together. But imagine the effect that 200 people could have, right? And that these youth could see 200 black men and women walking down the street telling them that we love them and put down a gun. Imagine that impact.
That's deep.
Right? And I think that's where we begin to solve the problem. Not just only with the gun violence, but in our culture as a whole. Is just getting back to the coming together. And I think that that's going to be key. It's hard to do, we know, but it can be done.
I like that.
And I think that that's the thing. That's going to be one of the deciding factors on where we go as a people from here, and then where we go individually from here when it comes to family, community, and then reaching our youth. That's going to be key.
Community is huge.
Absolutely.
Now, on the other side of that, like, we can bring us together, but we also have to look at legislation. So, you know, when we were growing up in the 70s and 80s, our parents had control over their households. Fast forward to 2023, the government is trying to take away a lot of what goes on in the households is being run by the government.
Absolutely.
So I think we as a people, again, need to come, and we need to come together for legislation also, because when we come together in community, who's backing us? This is not the government now.
Absolutely.
And then also we have to consider that these teens that are not being controlled by the parents, that are told they have all these rights, that are told they can decide what they want to do when they're 5 years old. You know, there's so many different rules and regulations compared to when we were growing up. So we need to be instrumental in taking back some of this control.
Absolutely.
We can't have men and women sitting behind doors making up rules and regulations for us that are not beneficial for us, because it doesn't benefit our households when they make these rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
Also, they have taken away our programs in schools that used to benefit little black boys and girls. When I was in high school, you could be a cosmetologist in high school. You can learn how to work on a car and be a mechanic in high school. You can learn how to do carpentry and woodwork and all these different programs in school. So you would come out with trades and be productive and work and help the family and have a sense of self-worth. But now they're taking all of that away from our inner city kids. You know, we don't have home ec. They don't learn how to sew. They don't learn how to cook. They don't learn how to wash clothes. They don't learn how to balance a checkbook.
Absolutely.
Where do we start to get these programs back that was benefiting our black community? What do we do?
Absolutely.
To make the community push legislation to say, look, this is what our kids need. This is where our kids were thriving, and you have taken that away from us.
Absolutely.
So what do we do about that?
Right.
And I think that's important, because I know, coming from, from down south, and where I like how I grew up, I went to all girl Catholic school, right? And so my path was, you go to an all girl Catholic school, and it was kind of a prestigious Catholic school. You were expected to go to, when you graduated from that school, you were expected to go to a 4-year college.
Right.
I didn't, right? But nobody came and talked to us about trade schools. Everybody that came was HBCUs, prestigious colleges.
Right.
And so that was not my path at the time, right? And so had somebody came to me and told me about trade schools, I probably would not have waited so long to go to a trade school, but I ended up going to a nursing program that wasn't a 4-year program. I think I turned out all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But these kids, if they're not wanting to go to a 4-year college,
Right.
and nobody's getting in their ear to say, it's okay, that may not be your
okay.
route.
Right.
And hey, look at me, I didn't do that, and I'm okay, I think.
Right.
And they don't have, and in their mind, they don't think they have any other options, then the streets gonna call them.
Period.
Right.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? The streets
Right.
gonna call them, and that's all they think they have, because all they've been told is, or all they have seen is 4-year colleges.
Or rap videos with diamond rings and
Quick
multiple
money.
women and
Yeah, quick
fast
money.
cars, like social
Or-
media. They're privy to things that look appeasing and appealing to the eyes.
Or it's the slavery, or it's the new slavery way that they cattle us. I mean, you get paid to do it, but it's still sports.
Come on,
Ooh,
Play
quick.
football,
Is that
black
the new
man,
slave
shut up
trade?
and dribble.
That's
So
it.
I mean,
is that
you,
the new
you
slave
know,
trade?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if in period, you see what happened to Colin Kaepernick, right? So they're not gonna put you in change if you buck up against them, but they'll attack that pocket, they'll attack
Real
that
quick.
account, right?
Real quick.
So they don't take it out on you, they'll take it out on your account.
Real
right?
quick.
You can't have a voice. Right? We'll let you.
We'll let you make us millions. We'll let you.
So
make
we'll
us
let you
billions.
make this money, but you still better stay in line, boy.
Okay,
But watch your
So stay in
tone.
line.
okay.
Right. And who knew all it would take was just to kneel in there.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But when
Okay.
other people did it
Yeah.
that did not have melanin,
Yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah.
He's being patriotic.
Yeah.
They're patriotic.
Ooh, that's another podcast.
But back on that legislation piece, and I love that because we got a new black superintendent.
Okay.
All right. And it would behoove us to get in this sister's ear as a people. And again, it's about that coming together because 10 of us can show up to
Right.
the state house, but what about 200 of us?
Yeah.
Right. And people have to get out and vote. Listen, there's a vote coming up on August 8th, I believe, that not too many people are privy to.
Yep.
And I don't have all of the things that are on the ballot information. As soon as I do, I will get that over to Dr. Raya so that she can get it out to you all. But there are some things that are going to be on the ballot that we have to be aware of and pay attention to because they are trying to sneak and do some things
Always.
behind our back. Always,
That
right?
S word.
Yeah, always.
They sneak it in on us because
Always.
we don't
And
read.
so we have to be aware, as Dr. Raya was alluding to.
don't research.
We got to get out and we got to vote. And it's not about Biden and Trump or the presidential
No,
votes.
it's deeper than that.
It's in order for us to really start to see change and make change. We have to start at the state level.
It's always been about the state.
It's
We
always
we
here.
always get caught up in the federal, but it has
Right.
always been about the state.
Yes.
Always.
Start local.
I
work your
never
way up.
understood why my dad would walk me the minute I was able to start voting. He made it a point to take me to vote, and I was like, I don't need you to take me to vote. I'm 18. I could. And it was always off elections, and I'm like, I don't really need to vote for you. I don't even know what I'm voting for. And he was like, nope, we're going to vote.
Yeah.
And I never understood until I got older, like, okay, I need to, these races are important.
Yes,
Like, it's not
absolutely.
about presidential, and it's about state legislation and
Your House
city.
representatives and all of that.
Florida-
Yeah,
Florida is a
council
prime
people
example.
and
Man.
yeah, so
Prime
Florida and
example.
Tennessee are prime examples of why we need to read, research, and get out and do what we
Yeah.
need to do.
for
Absolutely,
sure,
y'all.
Community.
For sure. It's always gonna go back to community. Always. All right, Dana, I'm sorry. We just
No,
got
you're
so
good. Hey,
sidetracked.
listen.
I love when he's on. He makes me
I
get
know.
intellectual.
Oh my
He
goodness.
makes me think.
These are the conversations that our people need to be
Yes.
having, and
Let's do something.
then forming the action plans and going out and doing. That's
Yes.
that's what we need to do.
I'm so committed. It's just not even funny. Like my mind is so, my brain is turning about all kind of things that I people I could reach out to and places we could start and just getting things going.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
because
go.
we gotta. I think the three of us, where we can start here and then just spread out to get people to reach these babies and make change. And when you said 200, I literally saw 200 people.
Right.
I saw it. I saw more than
There
200.
you go.
I saw
That's
more
where
than
it's at.
200.
That's
You
where
know
it's
what's
at.
weird? It's the anniversary of when we did the town hall
You're
at
right.
Fresh Start Ministries.
You're right.
It just popped up in my memories.
Oh wow.
So Dana and I did a town hall at Fresh Start Ministries with Pastor
Absolutely.
Nikki Hampton, and we talked with, it was a judge, it was myself, it was a pastor, it was just,
Londale Towns.
Londale Towns was there, and we all had input on what we can do to help the youth in our community.
Absolutely.
And that town hall was instrumental. It was profound, and I think we need to get more,
Okay.
bigger platforms.
Absolutely.
We always got to start somewhere. We got to start small. It only takes one person to step out and do it, but I think we need a bigger platform, a bigger forum. So I think that's something that we.
Well, I know Apostle
should work
Nikki.
on.
I know
Yeah.
Apostle Nikki will be open to that, and we can make that happen.
Yeah.
That will be no problem. We can make that happen. And get the people to the table that need to be at the table.
Because people only see what is brought to them on media.
Right.
So the news says 14-year-old black boy was shot and killed by another teenager. Then the news will say car was stolen with 4 teenagers inside. They found 4 guns inside. What they don't show you is that these kids go home. Sometimes they don't have food to eat.
Right.
Sometimes they don't have electricity. Sometimes they've been to court 5 times and the judge will lock them up for a couple of days and release them because they're not rehabbing them.
Right.
So when do we decide to step in and say, this kid needs rehabilitation? I have worked in facilities where I've had 13-year-olds addicted to crack,
Right.
fentanyl, pills, marijuana, alcohol. And within these facilities, we didn't have any people coming in to visit. We didn't have any city councilors. We didn't have judges.
Right.
We didn't have recovering addicts. It was just me and the other nurses
Wow.
taking care of these babies. Half the times we couldn't even get the parents to come in and see their own kid.
Wow.
So where do we as a community step in and rehab these kids? They need rehabilitation.
Right.
They need to know that there's a community out there that loves them,
Right.
and that it's just not, you go out here and commit a crime, you go to court, you get locked up a couple of days, you get re-released, and you do the same, because we're really not going to rehab you. We're just going to repeat the cycle.
Wow.
How do we break this cycle?
Wow. Wow. Man, that's powerful. Like you really just now my wheels are really turning over here because and this probably just is a perfect segue to talk about the Lives Worth Saving Foundation, right? So the Lives Worth Saving Foundation is a foundation that it's a vision that God gave me. I prayed on it, and He said go. And anytime I'm obedient today, so anytime He says go, I go. And so I established the EIN business up, and now I'm just in the works of maybe setting up a curriculum or whatever it is I want to do, right? Because the Lives Worth Saving Foundation is really just committed to helping men and women returning home from incarceration and or recovery get like the self-awareness, victim awareness, workforce development training, everything that they need to get them on a path to success, right? But when she was just sitting here talking about the youth who are what they usually say at risk, or those who not sure where their next meal is coming from, or they go home and their home is the trap house,
Right.
and the doughboys are sitting in their home while their mom's in the back room doing God knows what, and they don't know how else to, right?
How to
If I
process
can
that.
give you all
Yeah.
that picture right there, just imagine that, right? And so where then do they have to turn? And we have some amazing organizations that are working with the youth, but and mine was geared towards adults, but I'm thinking I need to add a youth aspect to the Lives Worth
Absolutely.
Saving Foundation, because they need to know that their lives are worth saving.
Yeah,
We
for
have
sure.
a higher youth suicide rate right now.
Yeah.
especially in the Black community. We have
They're
a
not making it
higher,
to 18.
we have a higher use of opioids, especially in the African American community. I think it's up somewhere up 53%, more than whites, more, you know. And so, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because now let's, you know, I'm going to pray on that and ask God for the direction and how to incorporate that, because that's something that's going to be powerful. And again, the Lives Worth Saving Foundation is is a foundation that is going to be geared towards both men and women, and in you know, people who have felt cast out, felt left out, felt counted out. And like I said, we serve a God with many choices, and so if it was not for that God, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And so He had just put it on my heart to let the people know that yes, your life is worth saving, that there is another way, that when these doors close on you, here is an organization or a foundation that can help you learn how to open those doors that they said would never open to you, because you're talking to a 3-time felon, a recovering crack addict who, I mean, now is on the path to an expedited pardon. My gun rights have been restored. You know, I'm sitting at tables people said I would never sit at, and I'm doing things people said I would never do because of who I used to be. But my past does not define me.
Absolutely
right?
not.
And so, you know, God has the final say in everything that we do if we just give it to Him and be obedient, follow that way. But that's a hard concept to grasp when your house is the crack house, or when you don't know where your next meal is coming from. And so getting people from a state of crisis to stability to self-sufficiency is, you know, something that I do at my 9 to 5 in Impact, and then something that I'm dedicated to doing through the Lives Worth Saving Foundation, and continuing to partner with the Ray of Hope Foundation and other foundations out there that, you know, are geared towards the same mission. And I think that those are the ways that we are going to solve our problem, because this is our problem.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you
Oh.
so much, and we are so ready to join forces with you. You know, I'm always there to support you guys. Summer of Salvation.
Absolutely. June 24th.
June 24th is the first one, so make sure you guys tune in, because we're going to put that. So I just want to leave you with this word before Leslie closes us out with the words of the day. So it says, you may not realize it now, but Yah blocks the devil's plans all the time. And what better way to block his plan than to bring community and people that are ordained under Yah to do his work? Thank you so much, Brother Dana. We are joining forces, and devil about to be mad at us. But guess what? Yah gets the glory.
That's it.
All day. Thank you, Dana. It was an absolute pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence, man. It's just...
I appreciate you, sisters. I love y'all. Thank you.
We love you.
I'm gonna leave everybody with Ray's word today. My heart is so heavy today. My good friend lost her uncle in that hit and run over the weekend. So my heart goes out to Paula Wilkins and her family. We're gonna miss you, Uncle Alfred. You were wonderful. You were a wonderful spirit. We love you. Hang in there, Paula. I'm praying for your family, and y'all be blessed. Take care of each other.
Yes.
Love you, Ray.
Love you too.
Have
Love
a
you,
good
Brother
one.
Dana. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
And thank you, Mr. Mike.
Thank you,
You're
man.
welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody have a wonderful Saturday.
Bye,
Be blessed.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Listen.